into the office.
Stephen Healy.
The cadence of his voice made me wonder if he expected me to know the name. I stood up to take his extended hand. His handshake was strong and curt, like the rest of his appearance. He was close to a foot taller than me, which isn't uncommon since without shoes I'm a hair under 5 feet tall.
Your great-grandfather's name was Vishnu, he continued. Is that right?
Of all the questions I thought someone standing in the door of my university office might ask, that wasn't one of them.
I can see that it was, he said. 30 years of reading the expressions of jurors, and one can see the subtle changes in faces.
You're a judge?
Attorney.
Who wants to know about my Indian great-grandfather?
It's a bit sensitive,
he said.
May I?
He indicated the open door, moving to close it before I could respond. I don't like situations being taken out of my control, but I admit I was curious. My great-grandfather Vishnu and his brother Anand were the only 2 members of my family my mother had ever talked about. I tossed an empty paper coffee cup into the trash can and offered him the seat in front of my desk. He sat down but perched on the edge of the seat and leaned forward.
What do you know about Anand Selvam Paravar?
Does your law firm deal with estates? I asked, an idea dawning on me for the reason of his visit. You have his belongings? I knew almost nothing about most of my family, but the story of my great-granduncle Anand's heroic life was told to me as a bedtime story when I was a child, so I knew it well, including the pieces of his story that were missing. The diary my great-grandfather knew his brother kept had never been recovered. Stephen's eyebrows drew together. Was he surprised I'd guessed the reason for his visit? Or was he confused because he had no idea what I was talking about? My family never received any of Anand's possessions after he was killed in the Great San Francisco earthquake, I continued. They assumed everything was destroyed in the fire, or at least the aftermath was so hectic here that there was no way to identify people's belongings. But from the look on your face, I'm guessing that's not why you're here.
I'm here on a personal matter, he said.
He paused and watched me for another moment before continuing.
My grandmother left me a trunk of personal items when she died years ago. I didn't think much of it when I was a young man, and I forgot about it for many years. It was only when I retired recently that I took time to look carefully at what was inside.
He shook his head.
I didn't believe it when I first saw it.
Saw what? I asked.
The information she left me, he said, not able to keep the excitement out of his voice. It leads to a treasure from the days following the California gold rush.
Ah. I leaned back in my chair, letting the squeak of its metal coils fill the room. Ever since news of the treasure I discovered hit the papers, I'd been expecting something like this. There are 2 common stereotypes about historians. There are the people whose eyes glaze over as soon as you mention history, feeling sorry for the historian's boring existence holed up in the library. Then there are people like Stephen Healy. They imagine the life of a historian as constant adventure, full of secret passageways and hidden fortunes. Both impressions are wrong. I love my job, but aside from my recent Scottish adventure, my research doesn't generally involve anything more heart-pounding than too many cups of coffee. I'm not that kind of historian, I said. You have the wrong person. The treasure in Scotland wasn't something I sought out.
I don't have the wrong person,
Stephen cut in. His eyes locked on mine.
I'm not here because of that, although reading about you in the paper is how I found you. A relation of Anand Paravar who knows how to do historical research. It's perfect.
What does this have to do with Anand? And hang on, how did you find out I'm related to him in the first place? My last name is Jones, courtesy of my American father. Paravar is a caste name, different from a surname as Western societies use them. Depending on the local custom, the initials of someone's father could be added before their given name, or the name of a village. Or if a family converted to Christianity, they might take a